And that's why she was like, yeah. At MD Anderson too. I remember when I'd have even my chemo or whatever, we found out there's like a jewelry show on like, floor 3 or whatever. And we were like, can we get this chemo on wheels so that we can go to the jewelry show? And they were like, oh, what? Oh, let me ask, I mean, I know they thought we were crazy, but, we were just like, she loved the
jewelry's way more important than me being
chemo.
Yeah.
And, that, and they had like, she loved the banana bread that they sold at the cafeteria, and she, and they would, she was really clean. I remember that. Like, she loved everything. Just, she'd always be cleaning and Windexing. And one time I was at the hospital, and they were going to do something in the room, but it was a surgical procedure. Yeah. And they had done this, like, thing where they unwrapped this a field. I guess it was like a sterile field where they put all the implements on my chest so that they could do something on my breast area. But then they went outside to go talk to each other about what they were going to do. And then my mom, I didn't even notice, but she was so nervous. She packed up all those implements and then put them in like that little bucket, that they have in the room. Mm-hmm. So when they come back in to start the procedure, they're like, "What? Where's all the stuff?" And she's like, "Oh, well, here, I put it in this." Because I thought it would be more organized, And they were like, "Thank you, but we'll be right."
Those were sterile.
Yeah.
Now we
so
gotta do it all
nice.
over.
They were like, "Well, we're gonna order some more, but thank you so much." And I was like looking at her like, "You're an idiot." But I do think that when she got nervous, her cleaning too was part of her, what she would do for sure. I mean, like I remember when I had my surgery first and then my chemo later. So, you come out of surgery and she's like looking at my bangs and she's like, "You need to get your bangs trimmed." And I just had a double mastectomy. I'm like, okay, sounds good.
She wanted to distract you from what was really going on.
Yeah. She always put like lip gloss on me or, it was just sweet and funny. And I think it was just her way to.
She was nurtured.
Yeah, very much so.
And I think that's why you are the way you are with your kids.
Yeah.
And that's why Jordan tells you, Mom, you would be, such a good mom to somebody who maybe didn't have capabilities that we have. But
oh, that was so sweet.
Yeah, it was very sweet. And it's sometimes, like I remember one time I think last year we were in San Diego and we were playing a game. And sometimes when you get a compliment from your kid, you're just like...
Bowls you over.
I started bawling. And she's like, "Why are you crying?"
What'd she say?
We were playing a game where you had to guess who the person was. And she goes, "This person..." She just started saying that it's so amazing. And so, it was just like all these compliments. And I was like going, God, I thought we already played Taryn or, whatever it was.
It never occurred to me.
And finally, no. And when she said it was me, I started bawling.
That's amazing.
I was like, and I'm sure the people that were there were going, "What is wrong with her?" But I was like,
it just means so much.
Yeah, when, she's a wonderful daughter, don't get me wrong. But she's not super complimentary or, whatever. And that's okay. I mean, it doesn't make her a bad... But when she says it, it's like so impactful.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like... Because, all you want, really, is to know that you're a good mom and I'm doing the best. I'm not perfect.
No.
Who is? No. But,
I always tell Jordan, I said, "You're welcome. These are the things you're going to go to therapy for. When I'm gone, this is what..." Yeah. So.
Because she's, probably thinks I'm cuckoo, cuckoo. Because I'm so lively. And she's kind of more reserved.
Yeah.
Like Richie. Well, sometimes. But I'm definitely, I don't feel like my personality's ever changed.
But she's not like a
with
little
or without
miniature.
kids. No, she's nothing like me.
Right, but that's
Thank
okay.
God.
Yeah.
No, I don't want her to be like me. I want her to be her own person. She's beautiful. She's so smart. She has a great job. She's done so good. And, that's what I want.
And she's so, at her job. And to be able to do what she does, I think it's incredible.
Hard, especially with little kids,
And, yeah, she didn't, it's not the easy road for sure.
No. She's a nurse, by the way. But anyway.
That's incredible. Yeah.
So what is your, what is the thing probably you took away most from your mom's personality that you're like, I'm owning that. I'm going to I'm gonna use that in my life, raising my kids, and obviously
She wasn't negative. She was never depressed. She was never negative. I remember that. She's perky. Like if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she came from a lot of hardship, but that did not. She didn't bring it up.
Right.
You would never know it. And there was like about her mother dying and what she went through. I didn't know that till way later on in life at all. That was something that she was just, she would tell me later.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. Was just work hard, and
And she played hard too. I mean, they had a great.
a great life, and I think that her biggest thing was like, I never had to worry about being homeless or having the lights turned out or my phone. You know what I mean? Like she always, she did.
She made sure things were taken care of.
Right, and so I think that was the thing. Like I guess, and she never would say this, but it was kind of like you work hard, you pay your bills, and then
Yeah.
And which some people take for granted, but you'll hear of other people and their lives aren't like that. And I just think she didn't grow up necessarily in that environment, and so it's nice that she passed on that legacy. And I think, oopsies. So I think just that, and I mean, I know I'm not as kind as she was. I mean, she was just amazing, but I hope to be, and I see it like with my kids, like they've got kind of that hardworking.
I think you're very kind.
Well, I love you very much, but I hope so.
And I think your kids are too, and so's Pete, and I see it.
But I think it's just like I don't know. I think sometimes it's just. I hope that I make her proud. I can't wait to see her again.
Yeah.
Like and you were saying like little signs and stuff, and mine I think with her is like birds, like cardinals or like just birds in the backyard sometimes. I just kind of think because that was kind of her jam.
I don't know. It might be squirrels too.
Yeah, or
she has a squirrel family.
I do have a squirrel family. They're so sweet. I don't know.
So what would be like? Does she have any like saying? Like my mom would say, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Did she ever say anything like that to you? That kind of sticks.
Damn it, Amanda.
My thing with her, I just remember her going, "Oh, Amanda," like anything. If you said something and she didn't not approve or thought it was silly, she'd go, "Oh, Amanda." I mean, I could hear it with the Windex and a Miller Lite. I mean, it's just so.
And she would just
vivid
say stuff.
In my
and I
mind.
remember she would, if we were sitting somewhere, she would be talking. She'd be, kind of like, "That's what she's talking about." Okay, if that's what you feel like you need to do, but like her voice would get.
That's when you're like, okay, this is a bad decision.
She
does not approve.
Right. And I missed her little tinkly little voice. I loved her little giggle and her
little walk.
Yeah, and her little fast walking, and I loved all that about her. And she would always I still have like a tube of her lipstick that I have by her picture on a shelf, where I have her and my
Everybody's
father.
got their little memorial.
Yeah. And I think I just remember her always just like. She loved Clinique makeup, and she would dot lotion on when she was drinking, and I don't know. Right now, I know after this ends, I'm gonna remember like some killer things that she said.
Yeah,
and now, right.
Why didn't I say that?
Right, yeah.
Well, we could always have another.
Right.
I
do. I think too. I was like laughing because when I see bleach, I also thinking about she had like a bleaching outfit because she would clean. She was such a cleaner. I'm like she had bleach, like a whole white little bleaching outfit that she would wear little shorts.
She didn't want to ruin her outfit,
right? So when she would clean, and that always used to make me laugh.
She was always dressed to the T.
Yeah. And I remember she came over to my house one time and I didn't have a zip.
You never saw her unkept.
Yeah,
I didn't.
No,
maybe
that was
you
not
did.
her. Oh no, that was not her
her jam. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember years ago when I told her, because she would wear, I laugh about it with my sister. She loved Steinmart, and she would have all those like 3/4 length Jones of New York shirts with like the chunky necklaces and the little capri pants.
With the necklaces attached?
Pantyhose. She wore pantyhose underneath her pants. I told her
I hate pantyhose.
I know. I told her I was going to bury her in pantyhose, but I did not get
They're
to do
outlawed.
that. Yeah.
They don't even sell them anymore.
I was going to say, do they make pantyhose?
Well, I mean, when I've been to the CVS or the grocery store, I don't even see them.
Remember there used to be like a whole...
Oh, remember the little eggs?
Yeah. Or the knee highs.
Were they called legs?
Yeah, legs. But I remember there was like a whole wall of pantyhose.
Oh, yeah.
And stockings.
Huge.
And, yeah.
Huge.
That's crazy.
Thank God, they're gone. I think.
That's
Actually,
nice.
I have seen some fashion people wearing some kind of stockings. I was like, you be you.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
we did that. It's like the shoulder pads. Like we're done. We
Oh,
already
no,
did that.
they're back.
They can.
I just heard that on the radio the other day that shoulder pads are coming back. I'm like, okay, who wants to look like a linebacker? But a linebacker. Not their wife, I promise you.
I don't know.
Or it reminds me of MC Hammer with that.
Right. I did see like an old video of like Olivia Newton-John singing Xanadu, and she, you know, her hair and their outfits that they're wearing.
She was so
and stuff.
beautiful.
Yeah, that was amazing. I wonder if all those
I wanted to
styles
be
are
her,
coming back
especially
in.
in Greece.
Yeah.
I wanted to be her.
When she was smoking, put it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Tell me about it, stud.
Yeah, that was awesome.
She was awesome. Okay, so what
What?
do you think she would think of what your life has turned into now?
I think she would.
I have an opinion.
Okay, I want you to tell me in a second. Okay, so I feel like she would be very proud of me in the sense that, like, Jared and Jordan,
Number one,
You know.
being cancer free.
and being cancer free.
Thank God.
And then, oh, I know, when I went to France the first time after she passed away, I remember I went to the Notre Dame and I lit a candle for her, you know, and then when I went to the Vatican, you know, so I always kind of like take a little bit with her,
Yeah.
of her with me, or
Yeah.
I'll wear her like jewelry to a wedding, or, you know, kind
Yeah.
of, I honor her that way. Like I always have like a part of her
Yeah.
that I try to wear, you know,
That's nice.
when there's some event happening, or I use her china for the kid's birthday party, you know, when we have a birthday dinner, or, you know,
Yeah.
those kind of things. But I don't know.
I think she'd be very, very proud of you.
I hope so.
Number one, you know, being cancer free, but the kids are just thriving, and you know, you've got a successful marriage, and y'all been married a long time. How long have y'all been married?
We've been married since 1996. So what is that?
19?
No, that's not. No, it's long. It's like 20.
29.
20. Is it 29?
Well, this is 19. I mean,
Wait.
oh my gosh, I don't even know what year it is. It's
I know.
2025. So 19. Okay, maybe.
1996 to 2025.
I went to Friendswood. So
Okay, so Jerry and
my
Jordan
math
are
doesn't
turning
math.
27, so we've been married 29 years. I think I just
Yeah.
add 2. Okay,
Okay,
so 29 years, yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy, too.
Yeah, because did she do that long? Yeah, I'm the only one in my family.
Well, no, her and Babe, I think they were together like 30 years. I don't
Yeah,
know-
together,
right,
but not married.
But not
that's
married,
okay.
yeah.
That's okay. They were together. That's okay.
Yeah.
And how is your brother? Does he do as well as you do with, you know, the loss of your mom?
Yes.
And I know your step siblings loved her very, very
Yes,
much.
they're very sweet. Yeah, and but yes, my brother, in fact, like he has a lot of her thing. Like whenever Babe sold the house, he opted for a lot of the furniture and the things that she had, her artwork or her, you know, which is really kind of cool. And he, his daughter, Madeline, was born after my mom passed, but she knows everything about. They call her Grandma Sherry. My kids called her Honey.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, he definitely honors her, and I know same thing. Just it was just such a shock, you know,
Yeah.
such a shock. But I hope so.
And you know, the thing with that, it's like, even when she was diagnosed, you don't really think of them like, you just think, oh, maybe they're going to change some, but you don't think.
We handled it
It's gonna-
so badly. We were in such denial that we decided that we just weren't going to talk about it,
Yeah.
and that nothing was going to happen. And Babe was the one who said, "Nope, we're not talking about that. It's negative. We're just going to go to the doctor." And
That would be her opinion too.
right. And
She probably
I
did
think
the
we
same.
just were all spinning out of control because she was the matriarch. You know, she was the one who ran the show, and none of us were
everything.
prepared. Yeah,
Hardest worker.
none of us were prepared.
ever.
Like having to take over a hair salon that, you know.
That wasn't in your
Yeah.
plan.
No, not my bingo
Life
card at all.
plan or whatever
No,
you call
no.
it.
So, but I was proud of that too, to get to keep it open as long as I did till the lease was done, and then, you know. And Bay was so sweet, but he was like, you know, between him and the accountant, they were like, "You need to have a salon," you know.
Yeah,
It's
they're
time.
realistic. Yeah,
Yeah.
And you didn't do anything to It's not like you ran into the ground or was
No,
spending
no. I did my
30
time, but
Yes.
but still.
But that was never your plan anyway.
Right.
You never wanted to be a salon owner like
No.
your
I
mom
should
and
have been though.
stepdad.
You know who does it is like Lance and his wife. They are like, they're doing great. We
Well,
should have
that's
had
awesome.
them flip and do it. you
It's
know?
just not for everybody.
Uh-uh.
You know, and I think too, your struggle with having breast cancer, your purpose became
my kids.
your kids.
Yeah.
And now y'all have a grandson, and it's like, dang man, I'm so jealous. Anyway, it'll happen
Yeah,
one day.
he's so awesome. And then Audrey has like
Oh yeah,
5 kids now. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have, but they're just so funny. They're funny.
they're just
Funny.
little people are just such a blessing, and
They really are, and they're very happy.
yeah,
And everything's new and fresh, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Did you see
the way they see things
Yeah.
that we don't, and you're like, oh, it's the innocence is just absolutely beautiful. You know, Lily, my great niece. I hate saying that because it makes me sound old.
Great.
When I tell her you saved my life, she like looks at me like I've got 3 heads. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about, you know. Because after Chase passed away, I got to care for her while Allie was at work, and it was. I mean, in any time any of my sister's grandkids, they weren't my grandkids, they came over. You know, Richie would just look at me and he'd go, "You really love this, don't you?" And I was like, "I absolutely."
It just fills, right?
It's so much
Yeah.
love and joy, and I don't care if they were crying or laughing or whatever. It gave me so much joy, and I know that's what y'all are experiencing, and I know that's what your mom experienced.
Yeah.
You know, that thank God she got to see them some of their life, you know,
Right,
and
right.
experience. I mean, I guess she had, you know, Bay's grandkids too, but
Right.
still.
I think too, like I remember when Jordan was on homecoming court, you know, or when she made prom queen. Like those things, and I would just be like, "Do you see this? Do you see this is happening?" You know, like
Yeah.
I wish you know what I mean. Like she would have dug it so much. You know,
Well, the thing of it with Jordan is
she was
because
so
she was
subdued about it,
such-
yeah.
yeah. You know, like, there's probably girls that are wishing for it. Jordan was probably like, you know, whatever. And it happens, and I just remember going, thank God. Nobody deserved it more than her.
She was a sweetie.
And I know it's a silly little award, but it was meaningful. When you're in high school, it's a big deal.
It really is.
Yeah.
She didn't make homecoming queen, but she was on the
On
court.
the homecoming
yeah.
court. But that's
yeah.
what I mean. I mean, just
Yeah.
being...
But she
you
made
know,
prom queen, so I liked that, but I didn't get to be there or anything. I found out from Jared screaming into the phone. You know, he was so funny.
Aw.
He was so proud of her. But yeah, I just wish that she would have been there for all of that, because I think that...
she was there.
yeah.
She just wasn't there physically.
Right. But she just loved her, you know, and they had such a cool relationship, and same thing with Jared. She was just so, you know, like I think I told you this before. On her birthday one year, she took them to Chuck E. Cheese, and then took them on her birthday to PetSmart and bought them betta fishes.
So you got punished because it was her birthday? No, I'm just kidding.
But they were like, "Honey took us here," and they were just like, "It was the best
Well, I told you
birthday ever."
Yeah, Kennedy went to a birthday party, and that was their party bag.
Was
a
a betta?
betta fish. And because his friend's mom didn't want one, she goes, Kennedy gets 2. And I'm like,
So what do you do? Two can't live together, can
no. They were in bowls next to each other. But I'm telling you, they lived a long time. At least 5 years. We had them a long time, and Richie took very good care of.
Oh,
yeah,
that's so
that's
sweet.
the problem. Is
Yeah.
the parents become responsible.
Well, and I
But
think people
it's
don't know
funny.
that it's a living thing.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some things like on TikTok where they take like a goldfish that doesn't have any color, and then from the pet store, and then they'll bring them home and put them in a kick-ass tank, and then all of a sudden it gets like bigger and gets all these colors. And
Oh, I don't know about that.
I didn't. Yeah, their beta fishes. It was Jake, and then Jordan's was Mary Kate and Ashley, Princess Fiona. That was the whole name of that fish.
Chase had 6 black molly fish, and they were the whole cast of Friends.
That is awesome.
Yeah. They didn't live very long, Sally, because I don't know how to clean a fish tank. and I
Yeah.
murdered them on accident. Please forgive me.
I know, but they don't tell us like you're not
Well,
realizing
yeah,
it.
I mean, like, they didn't come with a manual.
PetSmart said that they're just selling a fish. They're not like
Yeah.
helping you.
They don't give a crap if it lives or
Sustainability,
not.
yeah.
Anyway.
Not nuts.
All right, we're way off track. so
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
But I just, really wanted to honor your mom for Mother's Day, Miss Sherry.
Miss
That
Sherry,
picture
she's right there. She's
She's
amazing.
always smiling.
There she
And
is.
forever in our hearts, always in our minds. Wait, is it forever in my heart? Always on my mind. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I'm just glad you wanted to come and share your story.
Thank you. Yeah.
Not everybody is comfortable doing it, and I get it. It's hard and bringing up memories. But I've tried to tell people, I'm like, it's really about the love and the good times, not so focused on how they left us,
Right.
and especially
And just to
around
honor them
Mother's
so
Day.
they're not, especially, yes, I know like all of us that have lost our moms or our loved ones, but you just don't want them to be forgotten
No.
or like they never happened. And so
Yeah.
I always think it's good just to talk about them. Like it's,
Yeah.
like I love that we're doing this for Chasing Butterflies because it's important. These people were here and,
Yeah.
and they meant something.
And for somebody else to see, okay, maybe in a few years I'm gonna be not having this pit in my stomach, or
Your throat where it hurts.
yes, or like I used to say, I always felt like somebody was trying to drown me, like they kept pushing my head underwater, and I just I want to give somebody hope that might be not
Right? Absolutely.
hopeful.
And you always grieve a little bit, no matter
Yeah,
what.
oh yeah,
you and it washes over you like a wave, and then it pulls in, and then
Yep.
it goes
Yep.
out, and it's okay.
yeah,
It's okay,
yeah, it's normal.
right?
One of my friends I talked to, she was pregnant when her mom passed, and now she's having her third child. She's pregnant again. She goes, I'm full of emotion, and I just wish I had my mom here because I know how much she loved. She met the first one, but she
Right.
didn't get to meet the second one, and now this one. But anyway, it's just been beautiful, and to watch her grow as a young woman, because I remember being those baby
But
making
you
days.
know, at my mom's wake, like afterwards, they had like people over to the house, and this older gentleman was talking, and he was telling, and I mean, he was older, but he lost his mother when he was like 19, and years later, he was telling me how sorry he was that I lost my mom, and he was tearing up. I don't think you
never get over
right.
it.
You don't stop
can
missing
move
that
through
person.
it,
Yeah.
but no. I mean,
Right, right,
my dad's
yeah.
been gone since I was 9. I still, my life might have been different had he lived. I don't really know, but, I wouldn't trade my kids or my
Right.
husband for the world, or my experiences, because it taught me so much, and I think that's why I have a good marriage, because it taught me what I didn't want,
Right.
what I
Right.
didn't need in my life.
Right.
And I was like, don't let me do this unless it's right, or I'll just stay single for the rest of my life. I'm like, I am not going through any of that. But anyway, I just feel like, now I forgot what I was talking about.
I know. I think our brains are just toast. But
I
I,
know,
do
we're
think
tired.
it's just like, it's more honoring that person, keeping them alive in your heart.
Yeah.
We're always going to grieve them,
Yeah, always. But not in a daily, like you,
Right. It's more, and it's all like kind of a funny thing.
Yeah.
Like it's springtime comes and I miss my mom. But it's more like because of the way she liked to Easter and springtime and all of this that would, like the cooking and all, it just, okay, so I honor her by enjoying it and doing it and celebrating and decorating and putting out little Easter decorations and stuff, because she did that.
yeah.
And so I think it's just all the little ways to keep them alive and keep their memory alive and keep them just around us,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, I'm grateful that you wanted to share your story again, and
Thank you so much.
yeah, I mean, she meant a lot to me too. But I want to say Happy Mother's Day to Sherry and to all the moms out there. Whoops.
Oh,
And thank you. I appreciate
I
it.
love you so
Thank you so much. And happy Mother's Day to
Yes,
everyone.
Yes.